So what is the best business model to start as a complete beginner with $0 in your bank account? Well, today I'm going to rank all of the different businesses that you could start, which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones cost you money, which ones don't. And at the end, I'm going to share with you which one I think is the most beginner friendly business you could start with $0 in your bank account. That's not even on this list. So firstly, let's just go through the ones that I've listed out, which are the most popular ones, and then we'll dive into actually how to figure out what business is best for you, because the answer is different for everybody. I'm not here to sell you some course. I do have a free course on one of these models if you want, but I'm not here to sell you a course. The best business model is dependent on who you are and what your goals are, which not many people will tell you because they want to sell you stuff because that's the only reason to make you money. Anyways, we get the point. Let's dive in. So AIA, for context, I have the price, like the price tag, which is like how much money you need to start this company if you need money and or if you don't. So if it has an X, it means you need money. If it has a green check mark, it means you don't need money, which means it's more beginner friendly. Level means the level, like what is the skill level required to start one of the businesses. Price is how much can you typically price the services for, and then is the business model saturated. So let's dive in. AIA, your AI automation agency. Price costs a lot of money because you got to buy the softwares, hire developers to create these AI things for you. So it costs you money to start. So it's an X for the money. Level, about a level 9. You need to understand softwares and developing and code to some extent, and how these automations can even work in the first place. But on the pro side, you can sell this for about 20K if you're good. Now, granted, obviously, like most people aren't going to sell this for 20K. I'm just saying as an example, you can sell this for a lot if you build it good. Most people will not be selling it for 20K. Just an example. And then is this niche saturated? You betcha. So let's move on to drop shipping. Price. Well, you got to start buying products to test them out yourself and to film ads and creatives and host a Shopify store and then pay for ads to get them up and running, get people to buy. Trust me, I failed a drop shipping store the last couple $1,000. It is not very beginner friendly for most people, and it does require some money up front, so maybe not the best skill level. It's about a 7. You have to learn a bit about people and ads, etc. Not the easiest, but can be done. Price. You're not selling products for thousands of dollars, maybe, 5, 10, 15, 20, $70, whatever the case. Saturated, you fucking betcha. SMMA, the golden one, right? That one that everyone loves. Money. It costs no money to start. You can literally start calling people on your phone, start booking appointments and closing clients with no money. Level, well, you could argue it's maybe a bit more than level 1, but in terms of how anyone can just pick up the phone and start DMing people and calling people and emailing people, it's basically a level 1 to start. And price, well, you can, if you get good, you can start selling these things for 5, 10, 15K. Is it saturated? You fucking betcha. Then we get to VFGA, which is a model I created, which stands for Value First Growth Agency. Now, I want to just disclaimer here. This is a philosophy that you can add on to any business. So in theory, you could have an AIA that does VFGA. You could have a drop shipping e-com store that does VFGA. The point is to give value first, which typically works the best in service-based businesses. Now, does it cost anything to start? No, it does not. And for context, if you want a full 2-hour training of how you can start one of these companies yourself, which I used to scale 3 remote agencies, 2 to 6 figures, one helping cross over 50K per month, join my free school community. You can get it all for free. Bunch of cool stuff. Anyways, we digress. Level to start 0. It takes nothing to start this kind of business. And the price you could sell this for, well, depends on how good you are. You could sell this for 100K. You could sell it for $5. It's up to you. Is it saturated? No. Why? Because I made the model. Nobody knows about it. Then SaaS. How much money? Well, you got to pay for developers. You got to pay for software. You got to pay for coding. You got to pay for a team. You got to pay for hosting. It's not very beginner friendly in terms of starting. And so then I guess we move on to level section. This is about a level 10. It's about as hard as it gets. I've actually co-founded a software company. I can tell you from experience, it is definitely by no means easy for a beginner. Price, well, your softwares are probably not selling for more than about $50. And is it saturated? You freaking betcha. However, we still haven't answered the question, what business is best to start if you are a beginner? So let me go and answer that question for you. So let's assume that you're a beginner, okay? You are, wow, I guess I'm a beginner. A beginner, yada, 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 okay? And you have a nice $0 in your bank account. And you want to know what business is best to start. Well, first things first, if we have no money in our bank account, we have to sell services. Okay? Because we don't have money to use as leverage, so we can't be selling products, because if we were selling products, we have to buy the products ourselves, and we then have to find a way to host them and sell them. And so we're not going to be selling products. Let's make this very clear. So no to products. So we have to sell our services. And by services, I really just mean selling your time, right? There's this, let's imagine this scale. There's a scale here, okay? And on one side of this little scale, we have time. And the other side of the scale, we have money. right? The more time you have, the less money you have, typically speaking. And then on the flip side, the more money you have, typically speaking, the less time you have. And so whatever side goes up, you have to balance with the other side. And so, for example, Elon Musk has a ton of money, very little time. And so when he goes to do something, he can't sell his time. He has to use his money to buy things or people to help him build out his vision, which is exactly what he's doing. Other people like you and I, or other people who may not have as much money as Elon Musk, we don't really have the leverage or the capacity to pay for a bunch of people to work with us, and so the only thing we really have to sell is our time, right? Which time can be broken up into a few components. It can be broken up into a service, okay, that you do for somebody. It can be broken up into skills, okay, or it can be broken up into expertise. Okay, which we'll just say in this case could be like knowledge. Alrighty? And so realistically, if you're a beginner, you're selling one of these three things because you have nothing else to sell. It's you're either selling a service that you're going to do, you're going to sell skills that you have, or you're going to sell experience or expertise that you have. Now, if you don't have expertise, which would, for example, be PT, like personal training, or coaching, or maybe this is like music, you're a musician, whatever the case is, we then have to go look at our skills or services. Now, here's the thing, is I want to make something very clear. You don't have to start an online business, right? Services could be anything. You could right now, as a matter of fact, some of the first money I ever made was by babysitting. I just babysat for people, and I made money that way by selling my time. Another thing that you could do is you could clean. A lot of people want their house cleaned. As a matter of fact, I just hired a cleaner the other day to clean my entire apartment. Why? Because I didn't have enough time to do it myself, so I had to pay for somebody to do it. Okay, who had the time to do that. Something else you could do is lawn care. Right? You could go mow lawns. As a matter of fact, I did that to get my first, $100, $200. You can also could be a contractor for people's businesses. Right? Like there was this one guy who got very busy in the summers with weed whacking, so I would go help him weed whack. Okay? So you can babysit, you can clean, you can do lawn care, you can be a contractor. There's a plethora of things you could do, right? Some of the things I did was I became a video editor. Once again, I didn't have any money, so I had to give up my time, and so I would edit videos for people because I'd give them my time, and they would give me their money, right? There's people, like, if you have money, you don't want to sit there and waste your time editing, and so people will pay money for other people's time, right? Let me give you a quick little lesson. What money really gets you is other people's time. Like, all money is a stored resource of other people's time and energy. That's all money really actually is. You can use your money to buy back other people's time and energy. That's all money is, okay? And so if you want to get money, you give up your time and energy in the beginning, right? Later on, we use money to make more money, right? Like there's a saying that money can't be made, money can only be multiplied, which is very true later on once you have money. When you have no money, you have to give up the thing to get money, which typically speaking is time, which is why we're starting a service-based business. If you're not clear, the best business to start at the beginner is any service-based business, okay? Now, granted, this doesn't have to be SMMA or VFGA or whatever. It doesn't have to be these. It can be whatever you want. The point is you're going to give up your time to make money, right? And so you can babysit, you can clean, you can lawn care, you can contract, you can, video edit, right? You can build websites. The list goes on and on and on. But the best beginner business to start, okay, is any sort of service-based business. Alrighty? Because it costs no money to start because you're just selling your time, and acquiring clients can be done with the phone or laptop that you already have that you're using right now to watch this video. The level is very easy because all you're doing is saying to people, hey man, I can do this thing for you so that you can save a bunch of your time. Does that sound fair? And they're going to say yes. Right? That's fundamental. Like, think about cleaners. Like, cleaners don't have a great offer. They just clean your house. So why do cleaners make so much money? Well, it's because they're saving people time of things that they don't want to do. And so if you want to pick a really good niche, right, pick a niche to where it's something people don't already want to do. For example, people don't like cleaning. People don't like taking care of their lawn. People don't like editing videos. People don't like building websites. People don't like babysitting, right, because it takes up so time consuming. And so if you can just start to sell those things, you won't even have to sell them. You don't have to be good at selling because people will just buy them from you. Okay? Because they're a need, not a want. If you want to make more money, sell things that are a need, not a want. Because then people will start to come and flock to you instead of you having to find them. Okay, that's a little pro hack for you. Anyways, that is how you can determine what the best business to start for you is, especially if you're a beginner, right? If you're a beginner, you're gonna want to go with something that's pretty easy to start, pretty lean, very cost efficient, and typically as least saturation as you possibly can to increase your chance that people say yes, and ultimately sell something that people really, really need, not something they want, because therefore you have to rely less on your sales capabilities and more just on the fact that you are convenience to somebody else. Now, if you are more than a beginner, you're a bit more advanced, then why the fuck did you click on this video? But this doesn't apply as well to you. But the point is, the best, and let me end this video off with saying one thing. The best business that you can start is the one you're going to stick to. Because good results are made long after things have gotten boring. And so you have to be in the game for a really long time if you really want to see good results. So if you take one thing from this video, it's that the best business is the one that you're not going to quit. It's the one that you're going to keep doing no matter how hard it gets. Because things get good long after they get hard and boring. That's it. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to learn more about how to start a VFGA or an SMA or even any of these other businesses, for a matter of fact, truth be told, I'm not very good at drop shipping. I lost thousands of dollars. I've never started and I've only founded one SaaS company. I have a free community. You can jump on calls, ask me questions. I have a free course in there on VFGA on how I scaled that to 6 figures for you, so hopefully you can make a bunch more money and live up to your God-given potential. That link is down below. Other than that, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!